What makes chord changes sound smooth? The truth is that no music theorist knows the answer for certain. There's just many competing theories. After all, smoothness is an ill-defined term relating to subjective opinion. That being said, most theorists would agree that smooth chord changes have something to do with the idea of parsimonious voice leading. This is a term we can objectively observe in music and refers to pitches moving short distances rather than large distances. In this three-part series on parsimonious voice leading, we're going to start by introducing the concept of parsimonious voice leading in this video. In the second episode, we will apply it to major and minor triads, and in the third and final episode, we'll learn to apply parsimonious voice leading to any chord or set. We can think of the idea of an individual voice in a chord as literal separate singers, and voice leading as the way chords change from the perspective of each individual voice. Parsimonious conventionally means not wanting to give much, therefore parsimonious voice leading means that each voice is moving a short distance. To determine how parsimonious a chord change is, we simply calculate the total movement of each pitch in the chord change, which we will call displacement. For example, one way to move from a C major triad to an F major triad is to move each pitch up a fourth. We will always use semitones for this sort of analysis, which would give us 5 semitones of movement for each pitch, and when we add up the movement of all 3 pitches, it gives us a total displacement of 15 semitones. However, another way for us to move from a C chord to an F chord with more parsimonious voice leading would be for the C to not move, the E to move 1 semitone to F, and the G to move 2 semitones to A. This gives us a total displacement of 3, which is considerably more parsimonious than the previous voice leading example, which we can tell by how much smaller the displacement number is. I think we can all agree this change sounds smoother, and musicians frequently choose the second more parsimonious chord change in their music when they want the chord change to sound smooth for just this reason. While many musicians intuit the most efficient voice leading on their own, some musicians might not think about which transposition levels of a chord allow for short distance chord changes compared to other transposition levels. Transposition levels refers to how far away we're moving the entire chord. While the shortest distance needed to move from C to F was 3 semitones in total, a chord change from C to D cannot be done without any less displacement than 6 semitones, and a chord change from C to E minor only takes 1 semitone movement. This shows that a major chord transposed at the level of 5 semitones is more parsimonious than major chords being transposed up 2 semitones. These are the sort of things we'll be learning in this series, and next episode we'll lay out all the displacements for all the movements possible using major and minor triads. An important disclaimer is that parsimonious voice leading or smoothness is not always our goal and certainly shouldn't be considered as always superior to chord changes with higher displacement. Perhaps a composer decides they want to purposely make a chord change that sounds abrupt that has high displacement. Music theory doesn't tell us what sort of chord changes we ought to make, but it allows us to describe chord changes in terms of displacement so that we may decide to make chord changes that are anywhere on the spectrum of parsimoniousness. With that disclaimer in mind, the reason learning about which transposition levels are parsimonious for a given chord is important is because parsimonious voice leading is one of the most pervasive fundamental trends in harmony overall. Many musicians hold the assumption that operating within a scale is the fundamental guiding principle of music, but in fact, adherence to a scale like the major scale is the result of a higher overarching principle, that of parsimonious voice leading. In other words, we use the major scale because it lends itself to parsimonious voice leading, and some composers disregard the major scale and organize their chord changes based on parsimonious voice leading instead. This is how we get the common progression where one voice moves chromatically and the other voices stay the same. Understanding how to utilize parsimonious voice leading is fundamental to an understanding of harmony, so please like, comment, subscribe, check out my links in the description, and continue learning.